Let's talk about gluten. What even is it? So this is not a nutritional advice counseling video. This is just simply something to kind of help those beginning into the world of nutrition. Let's just talk about what gluten actually is. Base level, just information. So to make it simple, it's just the plant protein. Gluten is a protein that is found in wheat, barley, rye, other types of grains, though not in all grains. And it's essentially what it sounds like. It's glue. It's like the glue when you're making breads and such like that. Those breads containing gluten, and it kind of helps give the bread their structure, and it actually works very well. If you've ever tried to bake breads gluten-free, it is, you just have to be tactful with it. So that's what it is. Where is gluten found? Well, I've named some grains that it might be found in, but when you're reading labels, if you're looking for what has gluten in it, the code word is wheat. So if you're looking at labels, you know, it says contains wheat. It's not going to say contains or may contain gluten. And that's a mistake that I've met with a lot of people that they'll make, is they're looking for it to say just gluten-free, or they're looking for it to say contains gluten, and it won't. It will just say wheat. So it's often found in things that are breads. When you're looking for foods, it could be in crackers, different cereals. You just have to be careful looking at those. It can be in soups as thickeners. It can be found a lot of different places. So if you're just kind of looking and familiarizing yourself with it, just note that it's in obviously anything that has bread in it or any kind of regular flour. It might be a place that you would find gluten. If you're really looking for completely gluten-free, a lot of things will have like a certified gluten-free stamp on it. So is it bad? Well, I'm not going to vilify really any food outside of refined sugar generally. It just kind of is. So gluten by nature is not bad, but the way it is, you know, molecularly structured, it, for whatever reason, does not break down fully in our bodies when eaten a certain way. So that leads to, when it's not fully broken down, by the time it's getting in our, you know, intestines and doing its thing, it a lot of times can cause some digestive woes and other issues for people who have intolerances, and that goes by degrees and levels. Celiac people, like I said, intolerant people, even people who have sensitivities. And I'll do a separate video to kind of clarify what a sensitivity, intolerance, allergy, kind of how that works. But suffice it to say that because it doesn't break down well in our bodies naturally, it can cause some issues. Let's go one more step. This does not apply for celiac. And again, this is not advice to anybody to do or to not do. But a lot of times, depending on the way that the wheat or the grain is processed, can before it's, you know, and how it's prepared can make a difference in how it affects our bodies as well. So it's hard naturally for us to digest it, and that pertains to more like quick bread stuff, like where we harvest the grain, we just grind it up into a quick bread flour, and we just use it as is. So with certain breads like sourdough or Ezekiel bread, a lot of times intolerant or sensitive people can find that they can tolerate those better, even though it's using a grain that contains gluten. And a potential big reason for that is because when you make those breads, there's a fermentation process, and that fermentation process kind of pre-digests the gluten and kind of pre-breaks it down. So then by the time they're eating it, it will go through their system better, because then you're going to digest it even further and kind of help break it down more, so that it's not a problem for our, you know, intestines or digestive systems to cause problems later. Again, that's not advice to anybody to say, do this and you'll be okay. Every case is different. Everybody's different. And you'll rarely hear me just make a blanket term that I'm just like, this saves everybody. This works for everybody, because that's not always true. There might be a majority of people it works for, but not always everybody. So I hope that helps. To sum up, gluten is just a plant protein that is found in certain grains. Code word wheat when you're looking at labels and such. Jumping on that, where is it found? Most anything that has flour, or when you look at ingredients that says wheat in it. And it affects people differently. As a general rule, we have a hard time digesting it naturally. And for certain people, that can lead to different ailments and issues that kind of flare up. So that's why they avoid gluten. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that clears up some things, at least gives you a general understanding of what gluten is and kind of a general of how it works. Follow me for more, and hopefully I can answer some questions and give you some helpful tips. Good luck on your endeavor.